midst of COVID-19, the Iran Culture House, New Delhi, and the Saadi Foundation are commemorating the reception of Sheikh Hafiz Shirazi in the Indian subcontinent. Hafiz Shirazi happens to be one of the most remarkable poets of Persia, in the sense that his time and his space both indicate a high watermark of literary excellence. If you recollect that Iran, the land of civilization and culture, boasts of many a poet, right from the time of Rudaki down to Malikus Shorai Bahar, but it boasts especially of Hafiz. Hafiz is indeed a great name in the literature of Persia, in the sense that he had eclipsed the popularity of other two important poets who were just before him, namely Saadi and Amir Khusro. Now, among so many classes or so many types of poetry, so many forms of poetry which we find in the corpus of Iran, in the literary corpus of Persia, the epic, the ode, the quatrain, the lyrics. There were great masters of lyrics like Rumi, Saadi, or Amir Khusro, and they had already acclaimed themselves as monarchs of their own sway. And they have immensely contributed to the development of lyrics. So lyric per se as a form of poetry has reached the highest peak, and there wasn't any scope for further development of this particular genre of poetry, a particular form of poetry. But Hafiz got inspiration from the tomb of Baba Kuhi as late as 14th century, which marked the highest watermark of Persian ghazals and Persian lyrics. So getting inspiration from Baba Kuhi and then writing poetry and eclipsing poets like Saadi and Amir Khusro. In India, we have a special reception of Hafiz. The Indian subcontinent is very susceptible and very sensitive as far as Hafiz is concerned. Right from the beginning, when Hafiz has established himself as a master of lyrics, though he was very popular in Iran, but his popularity beyond the frontiers of Persia was no less. Kings in India, they had invited Hafiz, and Hafiz accepted their invitation, but due to certain vicissitudes of time and some force majeure, he could not come. But he did send his ghazals to the courts of these two kings, one from Bengal, the other from Deccan. And these two ghazals became, particularly the one which he had sent for the king of Bengal, Sultan Ghayasuddin, became very popular. And this is a ghazal which is oft quoted, and so oft quoted that people try to show the reception of Hafiz in India or in the Indian subcontinent with the help of with the help of this ghazal. But what I would like to say, that through this particular ghazal which he had composed for the King of Bengal, Sultan Ghayasuddin Shah, he has not only spoken to the King of Bengal, but he has delivered a special message to the people of India. There are two important messages. Besides the exchange between the king and the poet, I don't want to dwell on that aspect of the entire lyric, but the most important part of that lyric, which is the operative part of the lyric, which is the part which concerns all of us even today, has two strong messages, and he is addressing the people of India. First, he is talking about the art of poetry, that what sort of poetry people in India must. Persian candy for the parrots of India, so that they will crunch it and they will enjoy it. Thereby meaning, recite, the poet should compose, the poet should write as sweet as the candy, and not only the lyric is more important than the sweetness of the poetry. Master of poetry is telling to the poets of India that you should write a poetry which should have a long lease of life. The writer of Chahar Makala says that he defines good poetry. What is good poetry? And there the writer says that there are poets who have composed poetry and their poetry die in their own lifetime. But the poetry of Hafiz doesn't fall into the category of the ill-fated poet or ill-fated poetry which dies in the life of its poet. The poetry of Hafiz is still popular as it is popular during his lifetime. And he says that this composition of mine, which I have composed in one night, it ought to travel, it is going to travel for a year. That means it is going to travel for centuries, if not for millennia. The second important message which he delivers to the people of India is that people should not follow the worldly path, because this world is such a dubious place, it is such a shady place, it doesn't have a sublime character, it has a mundane character. So the people of India should path on the way which should be sublime rather than mundane. So these two strong messages which the poet has communicated to the people of India happens to be, and this makes us, or this gives us the reason to celebrate Hafiz, particularly in the Indian subcontinent. And the other thing which I would like to share with my viewers, that to what extent Hafiz has been popular in our country, both in Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh put together, what we call the Indian subcontinent, is through the works of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. One of the connoisseurs of the poetry of Hafiz happens to be Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, who was the first education minister of independent India. In Ghubar-e-Khatir, which is a collection of 24 letters, in that a small collection or slim collection of 24 letters, Maulana Azad has used for about 1/4 of Persian poetry for his correspondence. He wanted to have correspondence with his friend, and he is quoting verses after verses in all the 24 letters in imitable Urdu. There he is quoting at least 99 times Hafiz. So that shows that what amount of sway, what amount of influence Hafiz wielded upon the great Maulana, that he had to resort to Hafiz Shirazi 99 times in order to have his discourse with his friend or with his correspondent in the famous Umar Khatir. The last but not the least point which I would like to make here on this occasion, that Iqbal was a poet who tried to avoid the influence of Hafiz in his Asrar-e-Khudi. There he had made some inhospitable remark to Hafiz, with the result that all the contemporaries of Iqbal got offended, and he had to amend his Asrar-e-Khudi in order to gain popularity. So by and large, my viewers, you must know that Hafiz is such a poet who is born perhaps in a millennium in a country, and Iran is fortunate that the soil of Shiraz has produced great poets like Sadi, but greater poet like Hafiz as far as the refined composition of Ghazal is concerned. Sadi was a great poet, but Hafiz happens to be a greater poet than Sadi as much as the lyrics are concerned. It is highly refined. His lyrics are so refined that the black-eyed damsels of Kashmir, they dance to the tune of his ghazals. His ghazals are so sublime that the angels by heart them in the seventh firmament. So this has been a global popularity, a universal popularity of Hafiz, and though it is several centuries have passed by, but we relish the poetry of Hafiz, and he is more vocal than any other poet in any other age of our civilization. Shafiq Katkani has rightly said that today, in this age, when most of the poets do not have audacity to speak, we find that the dead Hafiz is more vocal than the living poets of Iran. So we really endear Hafiz. Hafiz is simply indispensable for every Persian connoisseur of Persian literature. The famous translator of Hafiz, Miss Gertrude Bell, she has very candidly admitted that out of 500 plus ghazals of Hafiz, 50%, half of the ghazaliyats of Hafiz, half of the ghazals of Hafiz are so beautiful, are so exquisite that they defy translation. I congratulate Iran Culture House and Sadi Foundation for commemorating the memory of Hafiz and his reception in the subcontinent. Thank you very much.